represented and communicators from the various research and national institutions represented, media leaders, editors, journalists from across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. Bonjour. Okay, our guests from West Africa, our guests from Southern Africa, welcome very much to Eastern Africa. Karibu sana. That's what we say in the Eastern Africa region. It's my pleasure to contribute to this important forum whose theme is expanding awareness and understanding genetic biocontrol in Africa. The consultative workshop on communicating the uncertainties associated with emerging biotechnologies could not have come at a better time of renewed deployment of technologies in Africa. Emerging biotechnologies are biotechnologies that are still in the research process. They are still in the research phase. This means they are a work in progress, and more research is still being undertaken before they can be fully ready to be deployed in the market. Emerging biotechnologies are being processed for the public good, and journalism, on the other hand, exists to promote public good. Therefore, there presents an opportunity for alignment with the center of interest being serving the public good. How can we find an opportunity and a nexus between the production of the emerging technologies and the way in which they're being reported in media? There are many sectors of specialization in journalism. We have investigative reporting, feature reporting, crime reporting, parliamentary reporting, and general reporting. All these are important. Science reporting, which is where this field of biotechnology control falls, is an area that of specialization that has increasingly become important in the newsroom. More and more newsrooms are identifying the need and agreeing that there is indeed need to focus on science and sustainability reporting and to provide resources towards those desks. Reporting on genetic biocontrol in Africa is important, yet relatively new area, which calls for precision and continued training of journalists so that they can understand the basic research, the basic principles of genetic biocontrol, and the competence, so that this instills in them the competence to communicate the research from the researchers. Understanding of the basic science helps educate readers, viewers, and to promote their own understanding. A few newsrooms have now built teams around science reporting and are beginning to pay more attention to the beat. Capacity building in the area of science reporting and indeed in the area of genetic biocontrol in Africa is important, which is why I consider this gathering very critical. At Kenya Editors Guild, we exist to promote professionalism and excellence in journalism. As gatekeepers, we are interested in factual reporting on matters of public interest. Kenya Editors Guild is focused on enhancing professional standards in media, developing their capacity of the various beats. Our editors work in various beats, so we are interested in developing the capacity of all those working in the various beats by providing trainings in those specific beats. And providing opportunities for reporters to excel in their reportage and serve their needs, listeners, viewers, from a perspective of knowledge. Excellent reportage must go beyond who said what and move to the basic tenets of science that have been proved. Reporters must learn, and editors indeed must learn to interrogate journal reports, journal articles, sift through government documents, sift through data, which will add value to their stories through provision of data and bringing in policy. They must look beyond single sourcing, all right, and help viewers understand the story. The matter of genetic biocontrol in Africa is a matter of public interest. What is the nexus between genetic biocontrol and genetically modified organisms? The subject of GMO raised eyebrows in Kenya when the president of Kenya issued a directive to lift the ban on importation of GMOs. The rationale given was that GMOs will meet the food deficit and alleviate the escalating cost of living. That topic continues to elicit debate. This gathering remains important as it will enable scientists in the room to help to connect or link or differentiate the two. That is, genetic biocontrol and genetically modified organisms in the reportage of the same. As journalists, it's our role to communicate clearly. Must be based on accuracy and truth, not emotions and fallacies like the subject of GMO elicited. It must be based on concepts that have been tested. The center of these must be awareness in understanding creation. But how best do we collaborate with scientists in the room and the agricultural research institutes in our countries to better understand genetic biocontrol? While a lot of research goes into the laboratories of these national institutions, there seems to be an information and communication gap. How do we close these gaps? How did we, as reporters, rise in our beats? How then do we use our own experiences to then enable more and more reporters in the newsrooms to rise to follow the science beat? I always remind reporters that specialization is key to whether you thrive in journalism or not. That was made clear during the COVID season when it was apparent and it was clear that those, can I shout from here? It's a bit of echo, okay. It was clear that those who had specialized in their various beats during the COVID season were thriving in their reportage, right? I don't know whether you saw that in your own country. Did you see that? Did you observe that in your own country? That reporters who were already specialized in one way or another on a certain beat in the newsroom were thriving during the COVID season. They had their bunch of experts. They had lined up their stories for a season. All they needed was to make phone calls or email because there was minimal contact. And they were progressing in their field. I thought I observed that, and that should help us to then make a connection here. How do we then encourage the reporters in our newsrooms to continue to adopt beats? How do we encourage those who are still trying to find their footing in the newsroom to adopt science reporting as their beat? As editors and reporters, we look forward to a better understanding of the circumstances that surround the flow of information in the various research and agricultural institutions, and we'll be happy to propose ways of making the information flow better. How do you weave the human narrative and the expert opinion? Reporting biogenetic control in Africa must take caution on reporting a balanced story. A reporter cannot purport to be reporting a balanced story when the side that seeks to balance the story is based on falsehoods and fear. Our reporting should endeavor to make us better professionals to serve our audiences right. In this day and age of fake news, verification of information acts as a second layer of defense against incorrect information, and also help our audiences to better understand the topics. How do we report accurately on the use of genetic biocontrol technologies and the products derived from them? How best do we enable our viewers to interact with these technologies? What's the impact of their deployment? And what better could be done to ensure knowledge reaches more people? It is my hope that by the end of the 3-day workshop, we shall have interacted and helped each other to understand better the terminologies in this technical area. Because the beauty of technology lies in its application. As journalists, that would be our end goal, to report on how these technologies are impacting lives. How are they helping to improve the medical outcomes? How are they helping to improve production of food? How are they helping to scale up food security? That must be our end goal on the outcomes for the intended users. Journalists must always, so we hope that through the interaction, they will learn to continuously, they researchers will learn to continuously simplify their research as they communicate it. We also hope that a vibrant ecosystem will be formed where journalists and researchers freely share information. Journalists, kindly get to know the researchers in the room, speak to the researchers about their work, establish a new story idea, a new angle for reportage, not only for yourself, but for the teams that you've left home. How do we expand awareness and understanding of genetic biocontrol? As journalists, we must be bold, truthful, and trustworthy where facts are concerned. So one of the most celebrated journalists in Britain, Charlotte Higgins, once remarked, "There is an alchemy whereby you take factual information which has some connection or tangential to public service, and you make it entertaining." How do you make reportage of genetic biocontrol digestible and entertaining? You inject humanity and narrative, because people must be at the center of the stories that we do. It remains a technical area and maybe a difficult area too. One of the ways to overcome this is through humanizing and putting people at the center. Since the end goal is how will it impact people, let us endeavor to report on how the technology impacts the people of Africa. We must, as journalists, inject humanity and narrative because this is our calling. Kenya Editors Guild is also part of a consortium of editors known as the Eastern Africa Editors Society, which brings together editors from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And some of our members are here. I'll just ask them to stand and say hello. Members from Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania. Thank you very much. We believe the training will add value and critical knowledge for us all editors as we continue to work together in the region. The guilds, the various guilds have been working together to try and improve journalism in their various countries, which is collaborative, which is a very positive thing, so that we are all moving together to occupy the Eastern Africa region and the Africa region with better journalism, with more credible journalism. We believe the training will add value and critical knowledge for not only science reporters, but also editors to enhance better understanding of science. Continuous training to promote quality and accurate and ethical reporting should be enabled for all journalists. It is my hope that at the end of the 3-day gathering, we shall expand awareness and understanding of genetic biocontrol in Africa. But even as we continue with that, it is not lost on us of the kind of situation in which we are operating as journalists. Media sustainability remains a topic that is of concern to us on a daily basis, and a topic that which we are grappling to find solutions to media sustainability in Africa. So even as we think about how we are going to expand our awareness and understanding, let's also bring ideas on how best we can impact on media sustainability in Africa. Therefore, finally, I hope that it will enable us promote understanding of the application of new technologies and improve our reportage of the outcomes of sustainability. Thank you, and God bless you.